Testing, testing, testing.
I should have seen it. This year's when I wanted to come in.
King Biz here, host of One of Mike Richmond's premier business radio program. We're heard as part of the Mike King Biz Radio Network, which is ESPN Richmond 106.1 daily from 5 to 7 a.m. The Choice 105.3 every day from 2 to 3 p.m. as well as International Business Growth Radio. That is Saturdays 10 a.m. Eastern. That's where you find us. That's where the Game Changers come to talk. One of Mike King Biz Radio is the premier business radio program in Central Virginia.
Mike King's a businessman. He's a businessman with his own talk show. On the mic with Mike is the best business radio program in the game.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to One of Mike, premier business radio program. I'm your host, Mike King. I appreciate you being here with me. So the views expressed here are mine. I have no connection to, support of, agreement with any other host, information, or ads on the station. I don't work for the station. My programs just air here on a daily basis. So join me as our cutting edge show. We uplift the community and showcase RVA in a different way. So you can follow me on social platforms, hashtag On the Mic with Mike RVA, as well as Mike King Biz. We got the man in the house, Martin Short, back with SBA. So, I thought you wasn't showing no love. I ain't seen you. I'm like, what? SBA ain't doing nothing? But that's not true.
That's not true
I always
at all.
see SBA got a bunch of stuff going on.
Absolutely. It's always a pleasure to be with you, Mike.
It is always a pleasure. So scoot up a little bit, man, so we can see you. We don't want to miss you on Facebook. All right, man, so tell us who you are and what you do.
I'm Martin Short. I'm with the U.S. Small Business Administration of Virginia District Office, formerly known as the Virginia Richmond District Office, but now we're just primarily referring to ourselves as the Virginia District Office because we cover most of the entire state of Virginia, except for the Northern Virginia area, which is handled by our Washington Metropolitan DC area district office. I'm the lead economic development specialist and public information officer for the district office. And so part of my job is to sit here with great people like Mike King and promote our programs and services.
See, we go way back.
We do.
You knew me back down at
WSCW.
Way back in the day.
Exactly.
A lot of things have changed, but one thing, SBA went from a few people knowing who you guys were. Pandemic hits. Everybody under the sun
knows who
SBA is, and still doing the same work. So we are here today to talk about Small Business Week.
Yes, National Small Business Week. We're here to talk about that. We were on I believe back in April or May, featuring our 2022 Small Business Person of the Year winner in Intellect Tech and Miss Jerry Prophet.
That was a good one down by Virginia Beach area.
Absolutely. Yep.
Okay, and so let's talk about what the process is and what can people expect.
Yeah, so this year we've changed things a little bit. And so normally the application process or the nomination process opened up in October and ran to January. This year we've kind of moved things back and opened it up in September, and it's going to close on December 8th by 3 p.m. You have to have your application in. And the reason we did that was because of timing. There are a lot of things that are going on during the month of November and December. My birthday's in November.
I'm sure that's why SBA changed it. That's Martin Short's birthday. So we got to do something.
So we have the holidays, Thanksgiving, we have Christmas and New Year. So it's better instead of people trying to be faced with that deadline in January and just coming off the holiday. And we think it's more suitable and it'll be a better fit for everyone to give everyone an opportunity to apply and get their nominations in.
All right, on the mic, Mike King, Martin Short is here with us. You talked to a lot of people. What's the status? You were here a couple of months back. What's the state of small business? How are people doing out there now?
Oh, folks are doing fabulous considering what we've gone through for the last 2 years, 2+ years, because the pandemic hit back in, let's say 2020, officially the first quarter of 2020. And so we've seen a lot of things change. We've seen people turn around. We've seen new businesses crop up. I even met with a business last week down in the Danville area, and surprisingly, they said to me, our business was not impacted. Actually, it catapulted. Something of a crisis does bring about
That's right.
opportunity.
If we're going to talk about Dansville, we got to talk about a girl down there doing big things.
Natalie Hodge.
There you go,
Yes,
Natalie
Natalie
Hodge.
Hodge.
And
Hometown Hustle.
Hometown Hustle. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know, this is a CNBC type show talking about small business in Danville. Not just that she was up in Brunswick.
Well, I think we need to clarify a little bit too. She's actually Martinsville. She's a Martinsville native.
Oh, really?
Yes.
And why are you going to make a point of that?
Well, because that's true. And we don't want to mix the lines because
And
Martinsville.
Where are you from?
I'm from Brunswick County.
And where at?
Outside of Lawrenceville, it's an area called Alberta, actually Murdersville.
Okay.
So I'm just a country boy, grew up on the farm.
Okay, all right, okay, thank you very much. So, and she is from Martinsville.
She's from Martinsville. She grew up there, and I believe that she indicated that her dad owned a business there. And she moved away like a lot of folks end up doing that from small towns. And so she returned. And so now what she has going on is she's doing some filming of rural businesses. So she did one down in Brunswick County.
She did Brunswick?
She did, of course, where she is, Pennsylvania, Henry County. And so she's doing that. Matter of fact, she was with me on a radio show, The Valley Today, up in the Shenandoah area, right below Winchester. And so it was a great interview with Janet McMichael. And so she's looking to expand. And the lovely piece about what she's doing is she's highlighting small businesses that are in rural communities.
Which get lost in the mix.
They get lost, they get overlooked, they possibly maybe underserved. And so that's one of our focal points is meeting the needs or connecting, making a closer connection to rural businesses. They don't have a lot of resources.
They don't, right? And that's one of the reasons why SBA, you guys go all over the place.
We go all over the
place.
You guys
do,
we do, along, of course, with our resource partners, SBDC, WBC, VBOC, SCORE. We're there in every little pocket to make
offering services so that they're not going to be underserved.
Yes.
They can get
lost and they can be just simply not made aware of what's available to them. Yes.
So businesses are doing pretty good. Some of them kind of even flourished during the pandemic.
Right. They even flourish, and new ones have cropped up, or new startups, or that's an important piece because with a crisis, it brings about, like I said earlier, opportunity. And now that the business landscape has kind of changed somewhat, people have decided, hey, we need to pivot. We need to do things a little differently. Now we have different needs and different problems that have to be solved and met.
So on Mike King Martin Short is here, old friend of the family from SBA. A lot of people talk to you. What's the number one thing when people have issues that they're contacting SBA? It's been the past. It has been financing. And I remember Carl is always saying, hey, people come up, I need a loan. I need.
That's probably the number one inquiry.
And Carl you guys always have a novel answer for that.
He does, certainly.
He definitely does. It's not like, what are you gonna do with it? And people sometimes don't have a clue. They just said and think that they need money.
Right.
They don't exactly know
if they really need money or why they need money,
and
actually how much they need. And if they were to get it, then how are you going to, apply that funding to really scale?
All right, and so one of the things you don't have to look down. You can just keep going over this, but I want to make sure you in the camera shot.
Okay, in the square,
right,
in the box.
So one of the things you always talk to is about business plans and having your plan together. It's a big part of it. And we've had the classes on that. Are people better prepared now as they came out of the pandemic? Do you see that people are more prepared because we lived in, as someone would say, a once in a lifetime event?
Yes. I would say that the pandemic or COVID-19 certainly was a wake-up call for businesses in general, doesn't matter the size, but certainly for small business owners, micro business owners. A business plan is a roadmap, but not only that, it's the foundation from which you need to operate from as it relates to what your steps are, what your objectives are, and what your resources are. So I wrote an op-ed, Mike, not too long ago about knowing your resources based on the possibility of a pandemic. You need to know what those resources are in the case. And the same thing as an emergency preparedness plan.
Because a person will say, it was a pandemic last time. It's always going to be something.
There's always going to be something. There's always going to be something. If it's not a pandemic or a health crisis, which COVID-19 was.
Florida's preparing for bad weather.
They're preparing for bad weather.
Right, because that could
Exactly.
be something that's anywhere at any time.
Any peril that we sustain can have an impact on business, and definitely has an impact on the economy that trickles throughout the entire business sector. It just depends on what areas are particularly hit. So, like I said, I wrote an op-ed some months ago about knowing your resources and being prepared and keeping that business plan alive. Do not write it and then stick it on the shelf. It needs to be reviewed annually or at least every 6 months. But it definitely needs to be a periodic review of it with consistency and adjusting, because business cycles are fluid. They change, things change. You know, if you look at the information that comes at us via email or via the internet or however they get to us, it impacts how we do things. It impacts the decisions that we're going to make. So business likes to be, they like to know how and what they can predict. Everyone likes stability.
Everybody likes stability.
Everybody likes stability, but it's hard to achieve that, and it's uncontrollable.
That's true. On the Mike King Martin Show, how can people find SBA out there?
You can find us at www.sba.gov/VA. www.sba.gov/VA. And you can find us at 804-771-2400.
So now, and we always talk about from the business culture and climate. What's the difference between when you talk to people, say, in a Richmond area, as opposed to, say, people in Martinsville or Brunswick or out in the rural areas? Is the conversation the same?
I would say for the most part, the conversation is the same, but the needs and issues are different. So if you look at, let's say, a rural community such as Brunswick compared to a city of Richmond, well, broadband's an issue.
True.
Broadband, yeah, connectivity.
And I think people don't realize that because everyone thinks it's right here and it's everywhere. And when we were down in Brunswick a while back, that's an issue.
That's an issue. That's an issue. That's a real issue. And that's a problem because you're not able to connect with the world as well as folks who live in an urban area or suburban area. And that's important because that's how we operate, through connectivity, and broadband is the tool that's used to make that happen.
As I would say, we would be remiss if we don't give a shout out to our good friend Alfreda.
Absolutely.
Down in
Absolutely.
Brunswick EDA, making great things happen.
She's doing.
I mean, I'm prejudiced, but hey, she's rocking it down there.
She's great. She's doing a great job.
And we've had a conversation about connecting Brunswick, Tri-Cities, and Richmond.
Yes.
Because that corridor there, I think, as you said, a lot of times people don't get the power of the business that flows through there.
Right. And I was listening to a show one day, and the gentleman pointed out that urban communities are dependent on rural communities, and rural communities are dependent on urban communities. It's all the same. It's all relative. You know, if you look at a farmer, well, folks who live in an urban area, well, how do they get their groceries? Where did that come?
Where did it come from?
Yeah, exactly.
It was in the supermarket.
Yeah, it's in the supermarket, right? But it came from a farmer.
Yeah, the supermarket got it from somewhere.
Exactly. So that dependency, that relativity is there. It's there. Sometimes it goes maybe not quite understood, but it's there, and we're all in this together.
All right, Martin Shore is here talking all things SBA. We're going to get back to the Small Business Week. Is it at Small Week?
National Small Business Week, 2023.
Right. 2023. What are some of the other things SBA has going on? I know you guys put out the newsletter all the time. Now, you also ran through some of your partners, and you brought a bunch of acronyms. You know, that's how the government does it.
That's how the government does it,
let's
right?
Go. Shout out to a good friend over to WBC, Dr. Danny.
Dr. Danny, the Women's Small Business Center, Institute of Women's Business Center, hosted by Virginia Union University. Also, we have another WBC that's down in Norfolk. It's hosted by ODU. Erica Cisco Smalls is the director of that program.
We got to have them on at some
Absolutely,
have them on
absolutely.
with me.
I will make that connection. And so the WBCs, their mission is the same as ours. All our clients are shared amongst the ecosystem. So they address those unique challenges that women may face or someone may face in the business world, in the small business world. So they're able to, excuse me, to navigate that landscape for them or help them navigate that landscape. And so we also have the Small Business Development Center, which they're located throughout the entire country and certainly throughout all areas of the state here. And their job is to provide counseling to those who have an interest in starting a business or those who are currently in business, they're trying to scale. And also they work very hard at trying to help clients access capital, getting clients ready to go in front of a lender. And that's another piece that we're going to focus on going forward is becoming bankable, helping our clients understand that process. That's a different world too.
That is, and the lack of finance and resources is always an issue.
Absolutely. Score. Yep. Formerly retired, Service Corps retired executives, but they don't use that definition anymore. They simply call themselves SCORE. They are a group of retired professionals, executives, subject matter experts, exactly. And they provide counseling. They're all volunteers, and they do a great job of assisting our clients. So we have a number of resources that we really, really do. And I think that people are much more aware of who they are now and who we are, because of the pandemic, right? Exactly. And then I don't want to leave out the VBOC, the Veteran Business Outreach Center, and their mission is to assist veterans who have been in the military, retired from the military, and all the resources help anyone. They help any and everyone, and it's not just confined to a particular category.
One of Mike Martin short is here. What's money saying right there? Could you check and see? It may be something that a person may want to let us know. So you can find us here every day, 5 to 7 a.m. It's Mike King Biz Radio Network, as well as The Choice.
Ms. Harper, she's excited to see the show is happening right now.
Oh.
Good to see you guys this week.
Coach
and she's
E.
watching.
Coach E. Coach
and Velasic Walters.
Nope. I'm not sure.
Well, people know you.
Well, all right, thank you. So Martin Short is here. All right, so you're starting to do some real cool things. SBA's been, not SBA, MBO's been around. Now, SBA and MBO, you guys kind of got a...
Oh, we're in partnership. We're in partnership. We have a thing going on.
Because when we were down in Brunswick,
Yes, one of MBO's members was there.
Very excited.
And very excited.
Because she said Alfredo's giving out MBO money.
Yes.
You get some money and you get some, because SBA, and you're the reason why we're down there, introducing me to Alfredo.
Yeah.
Alfredo, we go down there and MBO's down there having an impact, not only in the Tri-Cities, but down in Brunswick as well.
Exactly.
Talk about that connection.
Yes. So the MBO, from my understanding and talking with Alfredo, they're doing entrepreneurship workshops down there. And they're trying to provide, I guess, valuable content, education, business education to the members of that community, the business members of that community. And so not only are we working with them in a lot of different, I guess, capacities, one of the things that I'm happy to announce to you is that
wait, announcing? You come on the show and you're announcing something?
I'm sorry, maybe I used the wrong word.
Oh, hold on.
No drum rolls needed.
No drum roll?
No,
okay.
But this is something that's ordinary. It's what we're doing all the time. Well, what I want to say or announce is, hey, we're working with them closely as it relates to Petersburg. We're trying to build out an ecosystem down there. Petersburg is a city that's ripe for opportunity. And so we had a meeting back on the 13th, and that was at Virginia State. And so there was several partners there. And that's what I was talking to you about earlier, the possibility of doing an event.
Oh, we're going to do it. We were just there. Shout out to the Petersburg Breakfast and Lunch Rotary. We were just there last week. Shout out also to my man Lamar over at Poplar Springs, big time supporters of the program. Alrighty, Martin Short, SBA is here with us. You know what? When an SBA come in the house, it's like, oh yeah, because you know what happens? It's information for business owners.
Right.
Sometimes as business owners, we don't know what we don't know.
Exactly.
And a lot of times the SBA is not the hidden gem it was before.
No.
Word on the street, SBA was out there giving out money.
Yes, to some extent, but let me clarify that, Mike. We had those COVID programs.
Yes, we
and
did.
Of course, we weren't giving out money
You
like
weren't just
that.
handing out
No,
money
we
like
weren't
that?
handing out money. No, those programs were
They were the
generated.
lifeline for
Yes, they
business.
were generated to help save jobs, to keep businesses
And
going.
which it did.
Yes, and we were very happy and proud of that. And they were much needed and they were successful. And so now that those programs have ended, we've kind of resumed
Back to what SBA was before.
Exactly.
All right, so you guys have the SBA newsletter that goes out. What is that covering? How can people get down with it?
So you can go to our website, as I mentioned, www.sba.gov/VA, and sign up for updates. And that's a newsletter that goes out that actually I produce every week or sometimes twice a week. And so you can be added to our subscribership and you will receive information on what's going on with the SBA. And most importantly, workshops, because we have a ton of workshops.
You guys got a bunch of webinars and stuff too, don't you?
Webinars. As a matter of fact, I'm doing a webinar Thursday, and the title is "Learn How to Nominate for Small Business Person of the Year." That's going to be Thursday that's September 29th at 1 p.m. And that's when folks can sign on and learn how to complete their application.
All right. One last time about Small Business Week.
Yes. So Small Business Week, we've been doing this for well over 50 years. And this week it's going to be recognized next year, April 30th to May 6th. And excuse me, that's when we acknowledge and really highlight our flagship award, along with a lot of other awards, Small Business Person of the Year. So here in Virginia, we're going to have a nomination. Our nomination window is open. And so once we receive our applications based on inside that deadline, we're going to have judging of those nominations, and then a decision will be made as it relates to our Virginia Small Business Person of the Year. And then that person will go on to compete nationally.
There you go. On the mic, Mike. We bring you the best and the brightest. The man is here with the information. Small Business Person of the Year, Small Business Week. All those things tied to business. Martin Short is always stopping by the program. Shout out to you and the team out there.
Thank you.
Sherelle, as well as Carl. You guys are all over the state. Now, when do they stop calling it the Richmond office? the Richmond, you guys are all out and about. Well, not only do you hit the big areas, but when you go in small towns and rural areas
communities
and help them. And also, like, once again, we got to shout out our good friends, Natalie Hodge out there, small town.
Right, exactly. Martinsville,
to be, should I put Martinsville on the map? Alfreda down in Brunswick.
Yes.
We are coming to Petersburg.
Yes.
Let them know. All right, we're gonna put something together. So all the folks down in Petersburg, we're coming down there and making it happen. We are bringing a road show, which is on the mic of Mike. We've done this a bunch of times.
Yes, we have.
We know how to do this.
We know how to do this. We're pretty good at it.
Yes, we do. We bring in, so we're gonna tell folks what's happening in the ecosystem that is the Tri-Cities area. On the mic of Mike, as I say, we gotta go. We are the best business radio program because
Mike King says.
All I do is win, no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up,
don't put your hands up.
Hands up.
People get carried away.
Right.
and they stay
Yeah,
I
I can imagine. I can imagine. Yeah.
and they say, up, down. 'Cause all I do is win. And if you going in, put your hands in the air, make a play that.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to thank you for tuning in.
Michael Mikes. I'm the Michael Mikes. Michael Mikes. My name is Isabella and you're listening to Mike King Biz. Hubby, that's my scam.
Hey, we'd like to thank you for tuning in to my man Martin Short here with us. Those are my grandkids. As I always say, the microphone ain't free, plus they need stuff. So make sure you take a listen to our sponsors and the advertisers who help us stay on the air. We'd like to thank you guys for tuning in. On the mic of Mike, we got to run. Take care now.